Welcome to the future of eye care. I'm your host, Bob Iasillo, and this week I have the pleasure of chatting with Myles Lewis, the CEO of General Vision Services. Welcome to the show, and thank you for joining me, Myles.
Great. Nice to see you, Bob. Thank you.
Sure. You have an extensive resume. I was hoping you could share your background and how you got started in healthcare so everyone can get to know you a little bit.
Right. Good. Thank you. Good to see you. I started in optical in 1993 at a value eye care chain that was headquartered in Arizona, operated two brands in 11 Western states, about 150 locations. It was in the value space. It was a turnaround. I came in as an accountant. The CEO that was there, who was my mentor, we turned the company around under his leadership, took it public, and then we sold to a large national competitor in the late 90s. So I started out in accounting, and in that time frame, managed vision care was really becoming prevalent in the optical space. So I moved my way from the accounting area over to the managed vision care area.
That's great. I mean, you've held several leadership positions. What are some key takeaways that have led to your success as a leader at the multiple companies you've been involved with?
I think what I learned right out of school in that first job is it's really all about culture, and it's all about people. No one person makes it all happen, and it's really developing a shared vision for the company with the team, and really letting people do the work, and kind of getting out of their way and helping them when they need help.
That's great. I definitely want to circle back to you and ask you more about the culture, but first I want to understand a little bit more about GVS. I know when I first heard about GVS, I wasn't really familiar with it. Could you kind of explain more about the business, the model, and how it works?
Sure. So General Vision Services, 60 plus year old company headquartered in New York City. It's a regional vision care plan. There's 20 or so vision plans around the country. We are one of the more specific regional players. Just in New York, we do a lot of large labor business, and that was the business when I got there. So a lot of large labor clients in the New York market, names you would know. We touch about 1.5 million lives, and I got to the company in 2009. And since then, we've broadened out and doing other business initiatives around optical. We call it revenue cycle management. And that's where we are the back office for small to large optical chains. So instead of them building out a managed vision care team within their organization, they focus on what they do, which is retail and whatnot. And then we focus on the vision plans and helping them service vision plan members.
Okay. So you were brought in to turn it around. I mean, you've had some amazing success. Do you mind sharing where the company was when you came in and what you've accomplished since then?
Yeah, I mean, turnaround in terms of General Vision, I would say the company was always well run. I think it just needed more focus. It wasn't a money losing endeavor, but it's grown significantly under since I've been there as the CEO. Again, it's really putting, I say it crudely, but you kind of you find the right people and put them in the right seat, and really build a shared vision amongst the leadership team, and just go forward. And that's what we do, and we work on it every single day. We have a 1.5 million people that we're responsible for their vision care plans, and we take that very seriously.
Sure. So you talked about the shared vision and that being a portion of the culture. What were some of the challenges like, and what did you do? Like, what steps did you take? Did it have, did it revolve around instilling that culture? Could you share kind of some of those key steps you took?
Well, I think you spend the first month or two kind of assessing the talent you have, because you always, when you come into a new role, you always inherit talent, right? And, you have your own ideas of the different roles and what you want to see. And some people, get on the bus and some people don't. We like to say they self-select when they decide that they don't want to be a part of the team anymore. And then we've replaced those people with people that are that share the vision, and it's worked out really well for us.
Sure. What do you so we'll use this kind of a couple minutes here to kind of go into some things that you've said during the conversation here. So for example, the shared vision. How do you go about choosing the vision? I mean, I've worked under the high performance management systems, if you're familiar with HPMS, where collectively as a team we did it. So I kind of would love to dig into a little bit actually about how you go about selecting the vision for the company that you're in charge of. Is it just you making the decision, or do you do it collectively as a team? So kind of how do you come up with creating that vision
Well,
culture?
I think you have to come in and you kind of have an idea of where you want it to go, and then through meeting with the team and engaging with the team, that morphs itself, and you push and pull in different areas. So it has to be something that everybody buys into, because me just coming in saying this is the vision isn't going to work. And it's evolved. It hasn't, I've been there 12 years, so it has evolved. We brought in an outside facilitator called EOS. It's an entrepreneurial operating system. And we followed that. So for a company our size, that has really worked. It helped us, redefine the new vision for the future. It helped us define our core competencies and whatnot. And it really was a process we went through as a leadership team. We went through that for, I would say, 3 solid months last year, and we moved forward with that whole process.
Yeah, that's great. I'm really into kind of the whole professional development side of things, as well as the corporate development side. So, whether it was, EOS system that you're using now, or, a high performance management system, kind of a very structured environment for which you create your vision, create your culture,
That's
kind of
right.
everyone kind of buys into it, and then you can execute and measure on it. So I'm definitely into that. Would love to spend more time in the future talking with you about that aspect. I think that's
Absolutely.
something that we could implement, even at my company now, that we don't necessarily have a formal process in place at a
Right.
startup. Um,
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
yeah, it's great. So you're on the board of a couple companies, actually, and you're involved at a very high level. What do you see for the future of eye care right now?
The future of eye care is telemedicine. And I'm on the board of 2020 Now, your company. And we've been at this now 6 years. And this has been an evolution for the books, right? You've got this great technology. You've solved an issue that's needed. From my days in retail, and even when I ran Sterling Optical as a COO franchise model, it was always the same story. We don't have enough doctor coverage, enough OD coverage. We don't have enough. And as you know, from being in retail, you need that eye exam in order to make a sale. You need a current eye exam. So I got involved in this 6+ years ago. And you've got the silver bullet, and then you come across industry pushback. It's new. I don't know how this is going to work. Is it as good as an in-person eye exam? And you go through all the process of that. And I would say that COVID, as bad as it's been on business in general, is really moved the ball forward in the last 8-9 months very, very quickly, because now instead of trying to sell people on the value of telemedicine and what it can do for them, they're actually now calling us and they're saying, hey, we want to know more about this. Maybe they don't want to be nose to nose with that 15 patients a day, but they still want to be able to service their patients and their 15 patients, and they can do that remotely. And for those of you, the telemedicine's the future for our industry.
For sure. I mean, it was one of the things that obviously, appealed to me in joining the company as well. I mean, you're definitely involved at a high level. I'm just curious, is there anything else out there that you've kind of taken notice of outside of even the telemedicine, telehealth, anything that you're involved with or hear about?
Well, I would say to people that are involved in retail, I think it's something that's well known today, but it just to say it is managed vision care is here to stay. Like I said, I was involved in it back in the 90s when I was involved in more corporate owned retail. And then also at Sterling, which is a franchise organization. The concept always was, the thought was, is it going to go away, or when's it going to go away? And I wish it was all retail. It's not going to go away. It's half the population now has a vision plan, and the vision plans provide tremendous value to those members, and the members they love it. And you can see it's a still growing component of the industry.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, it definitely has been a cornerstone of the industry for a long time. Listen, I certainly appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know how busy you are. Just trying to get these 15 minutes scheduled. Obviously, we had to go back and forth
Right.
on some calendars. So I certainly appreciate your time. It's been a real pleasure catching up with you and
Good.
over this. I look forward to being able to spend some time with you in New York after this whole COVID thing passes by.
Likewise, and good to see you again. Keep up the great work.
Sure.